Hey, this is Dr. Keith Hersey, and you are listening to the Destroying Diabetes podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Destroying Diabetes podcast, and I'm Dr. Keith, your host. I hope that everyone had a restful, stress-free, relaxing holiday season. This is our first podcast of 2024, so I haven't seen you since last year, or heard from you. So I would just like to, first of all, welcome everyone to our podcast. Hopefully we gain some new listeners. The word of mouth has been really good. I have feedback from people from all over the area, all over different parts of North Carolina. Still looking for that first international email from someone outside the United States. I haven't gotten that yet. So if you're outside the United States and you're listening to this podcast, feel free to send us an email. Our email address is in the show notes. So I would gladly, that would really make my day if I had a fan of the podcast from another country outside of the United States. The farther away, the more intriguing it'll be. Okay, so just thank you again for all of the support. Just encourage people, please, if you're able to, subscribe to the podcast. If you could give us a positive review on wherever you listen to your podcast at, that helps our numbers as well. Just anything that you can do to promote your podcast. Like I said, anybody in the world, all you need is an internet connection, and you can listen to our podcast anywhere that you listen to podcasts to. And we also just have a streaming YouTube channel as well. So pretty much any way you have an internet connection, you can listen to our podcast. And I guess they didn't change the locks over the holiday, so I guess just stuck with me at least for another month, I guess. Hopefully. I don't hear any footsteps yet, but hopefully that's the case. My name is, first of all, we may have some new listeners, so I'll just give kind of a little bit about the background with myself. I'm Dr. Keith Hersey. I'm the owner of Hersey Pharmacy in Durham, North Carolina, where a lot of people say Raleigh, Durham, but it's two separate cities, Durham and Raleigh. But we're like to say that we're located kind of halfway between University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and Duke University. We're kind of about the same distance from either school. So, and I am a graduate, two-time graduate of University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. So, so I don't, so you know where my loyalty lies. And also all the money I paid out lies too. Even though I did work for Duke University for it's about a little over like 12 years or so. So I kind of have both aspects and enjoy my time working for Duke University, Duke Medical Center. So the purpose of this podcast is that I've started the podcast is about almost 6 months ago, and we're still doing episodes. So I think they said that the average podcast lasts like 6 episodes. So I think this is episode number 12. So we doubled that. So we're just going to keep going. I am not only am I a pharmacist, but I'm also a type 2 diabetic, and I've been that for it's going to be almost 20 years coming on. I think next year will be 20 years since I was initially diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, which I was, um, and you know this from previous episodes, I was in denial. I discovered it. I was at a pharmacist conference, and it was somebody that was a representative that was getting people to try out their new glucometers. And so I just voluntarily had my finger stuck in thing, and the reading was really high, um, about double what the normal should be. Um, and so that was just a shock to me, even though looking back on it, I did have some of the um, symptoms of someone that's having high blood sugar, which I just kind of ignored. And I went to the doctor, tested A1C, was in the diabetic range. I first tried to just say, well, let me just work on it and just try to watch what I eat or whatever. Um, didn't do that good of a job of watching what I ate. And eventually was fully diagnosed type 2 diabetic. Like I said previously, my father is a type 2 diabetic. Back in the day where pretty much the only treatment that you had was insulin, and it was the animal insulin. So it was like the pork insulin, the beef insulin, either pork or beef insulin. So I just remember my father taking these really long needles and drawing up insulin and injecting himself. And I thought that wouldn't happen to me, but it did. Um, and I don't want people to sit around um, shaming themselves. It is a chronic health condition, but it's something that can be managed, even if you work hard enough and follow certain steps, that it can be alleviated and maybe even put into remission. Now, you will still be type 2 diabetic, and if you get off your plan, you can fall back into type 2 diabetes and having all the symptoms. So it's not something that you will get rid of altogether. It's something that you will have to be mindful, even if you are able to put into remission. And that's what I'm trying to work on now. I've seen patients and family members lose limbs, lose eyesight, um, lose like control of their body organs because of this disease. So I don't want that to happen to you or to myself. So um, what I'm trying to move toward is the healing business, not just treating symptoms. Basically, for the most part now that in our healthcare system, we just treat symptoms. We keep people alive and keep people um, be able to live with whatever their chronic diseases are. It's not much stress toward um, to put any of these diseases into remission or lessening the effect of these diseases. It's just basically let's find a way for you that you can live with it and manage it where it can be manageable. And it may not get better. A lot of times, if you don't take significant steps, it'll probably get worse. So we want to be in the health care and in the health healing system, not in just the health management system, which is basically our healthcare system now is basically management. Now we're great at saving people's lives and emergency life-saving um, medications and procedures. We're great at that, and I'm thankful for that. And then that's very appropriate. But when it comes to chronic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, um, high cholesterol, um, arthritis, um, certain cancers, not all cancers, but certain cancers, um, we are just really behind because we just basically like treat symptoms. And that's kind of funny for me to say that because I'm like a pharmacist. So like I say, you be glad that people are on all these medications because doesn't that help you? It does in the short term, but in the long term, I'd rather have a healthier society. I'd rather help people move from um, taking 10 medications to where they may be taking one or two, or they may not be, depending on the what we're treating, they may not be taking any. Um, that's my goal in 2024 is just to move myself, move people that want to work with me into health, into not just tolerating a disease, tolerating symptoms, living with side effects from um, medications. Um, let's move toward wellness. I think that, and we're starting to see that slowly, little by little. I think it just has to be a national push to wellness. And to push people to wellness is a lot less expensive than treating people in the hospital after their conditions have gotten so bad, or having people on multiple medications for the rest of their lives. It's just more cost effective. People will feel better, and the economic effect on people will be less because even if you have insurance, and January is always the big month for us in pharmacy, and I would just ask people in the beginning of January, wherever you go, um, um, support as pharmacy, just be kind of understanding to your pharmacist at the beginning of the year is this is because everyone, like a lot of people, their insurance may change, the co-pays may change, the medications that are covered may change. So just bear that in mind. And it's just kind of hectic, like the first, especially January, February, first couple months of the year, just getting new insurance, and co-pays may have gone up, deductibles and may gone up. So just bear that. Don't just take it out on your pharmacist. Kind of like you're kind of shooting the messenger, and and just also be familiar with your plan beforehand. Like a lot of times you get a letter, and you may just shred it or throw it away and not open it from your insurance. That said, like, oh, you might been on this medication last year and they paid for it, but now it's non-preferred and we won't cover it unless the doctor provides like a prior authorization to us, or you may have to switch to another medication in that class that is a preferred medication, and you can no longer, or they will no longer pay for the medication that you're on. So it's just like a pretty stressful time, especially with us pharmacists, no matter what setting it is, especially in the community setting, just having to deal with that and deal with all the changes, slight changes. There are slight changes that come up every year that you have to kind of deal with, and you don't really know until you try to fill the prescription because believe it or not, most pharmacists, we don't know every kind of detail about your health plan, unfortunately, because it's about 5,000 different health plans, and it's kind of hard to keep up with that and the medications and everything else. So um, one of the things you can do is just be patient. with your pharmacist and kind of understanding at the beginning of the year. It's just kind of a hectic time. And then a lot of times you don't have, especially in the big box chains, you don't have the appropriate staffing to kind of address that and trying to keep everything going and having your supervisors come in and beat you over metrics and threaten your job over metrics. And so they're going a lot, especially the people in the big chain. So that's a good reason to go to like a independent like ourselves, Hersey Pharmacy in Durham. So we'll gladly take new patients. And this is kind of usually a good time of the year to if you're going to make a change at the beginning of the year when everything's kind of reset and that most independents, I know the independents around here in Durham that they give you more personal service. You're not just like a number. They're not just running around ignoring you. So if you're just tired of not being listened to or continuing to go to the pharmacy and the lines around the corner and the drive-throughs backed up just to pick up a prescription that it may take you 30 minutes to pick up a prescription that you called in earlier. And just a lot of it is beyond the control. A lot of these, as you see with the strikes and stuff now with the big chains, a lot of these big chains have understaffed their pharmacies for years. And then, of course, they add on more duties that they expect the pharmacists and pharmacies to do on top of not having enough staff to do it. So just as I said, January is a good month to kind of bear grace for us pharmacists. We really appreciate that. Any kind of nice cards, nice words. We really like that. We like that anytime, but especially in these first couple of months. So I just want to kind of just to welcome everybody into 2024. We have some good episodes planned. We're getting some good guests lined up for future episodes. I think one of our upcoming episodes is going to be really good. Stay tuned to that. We'll have a guest, and it's going to be really a hot topic that a lot of people have asked about. We're going to address all of the new weight loss drugs, the Wegovy, Mounjaro, Ozempic. So if you have any questions about these medications, please email us. Like I said, the email is in the show notes. Just email us any questions in the next week or so before we record that episode. So with my guests, hopefully we can tackle any of those questions. So I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about that, about these drugs to see if they're kind of like the silver bullet and helping with diabetes. And they are very helpful. They are very helpful in the immediate results. But we have also some cautions with that as well. And then also we have some ongoing issues with that, and also the supply issues with a lot of these drugs as well. And now because of the increasing cost of these products, now we're seeing some of the insurers are kind of pushing back and not approving them, or that you wouldn't have to go through all these hoops just to get it approved from your insurance. And some insurers are not covering some of them now, so that's another issue. And these medications, unfortunately, they're super expensive, and so there will be something to look forward to. And again, just email us, and I'll take also some of the questions that I get coming across in the pharmacy that come up with patients that come in ask about or call me up and ask me about. So I think that's going to be a really important um, episode. Just stay tuned to that. That episode should be dropping within the next couple of weeks. So just be on the lookout for that episode. Also, I wanted to talk about it more in a future episode. Um, we're getting ready to launch a dynamic new program, and we're rolling it out first to people that are our regular patients at Hersey Pharmacy. And that's another reason why you should join Hersey Pharmacy, because you can take advantage of this new program. Is a program to help with chronic diseases. It's sort of like a program where that you're getting help from myself and others that are working with me to help you manage your chronic disease. So if you're someone that has a chronic health condition and you want to get control of it for 2024, and you want to get some help and get help from a pharmacist helping to guide you and get you through that and get your health under control. That should be number one resolution. If you don't have it under control, to get your health under control in 2024. To get healthier in 2024, to not have so many or worsening of your medical conditions. Your diabetes is getting more out of control, that you're at risk of losing limbs or losing organs, or losing control of organs. We don't want that to happen to you in 2024. We want you to go on the other side where that you reduce the medications, reduce the side effects, reduce the pain, and reduce the number of medication that you're on. You may be able to save money because you're using less or no medication, so that the copay goes into your pocket instead of in someone else's pocket. So I invite you to, if you're interested in it, if you're not one of our patients, please, like I said, you can email us or give us a call, and we'll be glad to give you the information on it. It's something that we're going to be launching in the next few days, and it's very, very, very exciting. I think that the opportunity to work with me and the people that I work with to help get your medical conditions under control in 2024. That's my number one goal, is to help you get healthier for 2024. So that we don't want to we want to talk with you. We don't want to talk about you. You know. And well, just the thing. I don't want to see your diabetes to get more out of control. We want to get it in control this year. We want to get it so you have a better quality of life. And I would love to work with you. Please, if you know someone that's interested in that, please, you can email us or call us. And they don't necessarily have to be in the Durham area. If you're outside of the Durham area, please still contact us. A lot of the things that we're going to be doing is going to be virtual anyway, so you don't have to necessarily be in Durham, North Carolina. Just please just let anybody know that is especially type 2 diabetes, but we also work with people with other medical conditions such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, arthritis, these diseases of inflammation, basically. And just want to help you get that under control this year. So I appreciate you taking the time out to listen to this podcast. Please spread the word about this podcast. Like I said, anybody in the world that has an internet connection can listen to this podcast. We really need the support. We really need people to like and subscribe to the podcast. If you want to leave a comment, if you want to rate us, hopefully you can give us a 5-star rating. All that helps the podcast, helps us circulate when people are searching about diabetes, or they want to know something about diabetes, and our podcast will pop up in their search platform. The more people that we have listen to it, the more people that we have liked, the more people that comment on it. So please, that's the best thing you do. Even if you don't have type 2 diabetes, if you can enjoy the podcast, that has good information that you could pass along to friends or family members that do have type 2 diabetes. So even though they should be listening to the podcast, but if they're not, or not able to listen to it, you can at least give them some good information. So again, thank you. Welcome to 2024. Let's move forward together. Let's move to a healthier self. And I just want you to continue to stay tuned and be well.
Thank you for joining us on this informative journey. The content of this podcast is solely the professional opinion of the host for informational purposes only. It should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you're experiencing any health issues or concerns, we strongly recommend that you seek the counsel of a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes.